Yes, Right Honorable Prime Minister.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Honorable Speaker and
Yes.
honorable members. Just a short one, very short one. As is well known, the priorities of NDP 6, agriculture, sports, youth empowerment, creative industry, better education and training, better health and social welfare, land, housing, and sanitation. And to the latter, as is also known, we have enablers, one of which is water. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, in the past few weeks, Her Excellency has directed on sanitation and housing to be considered to be declared as emergency. And we sought from the Attorney General legal advice. And Attorney General has advised that Disaster Risk Management Act 10 of 2012 can be invoked in order to declare housing and sanitation as emergency. The first meeting, thank you for the excitement. Thank you for the excitement. And a few weeks ago, the first meeting was convened, chaired by Secretary to Cabinet, on those specific topical issues. It was then also Honorable Speaker, in the consultation with various EDs of OMAS, it was felt that on the sanitation aspect, the resources currently available would be sufficient to address it. That is the sanitation aspect. And therefore, in informing this honorable House, is to say that these two, housing and sanitation, they go together like Siamese twins. You cannot achieve one without the other. And therefore, the committee, the National Disaster Risk Management Committee, is seized with this matter and will then be, in the fullness of time, will come back to appraise Cabinet, not Cabinet, Parliament. Of course, Cabinet, then Parliament. So this is what we wanted to inform the August House in terms of the work that is currently underway and specific on those areas of the pillars that I have mentioned, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Honorable Lizazi, are you... You are speaking to what the PM talked about. Yes, you have the floor. Okay, I'm now a little bit in a difficult situation, right, Honorable Prime Minister? Maybe before Honorable Lizazi comes in, because I was struggling to understand whether this is a statement by the Prime Minister or it is a message from the head of state. Because if the Prime Minister as head of administration is making a statement to update Parliament on a new development in the government, it makes it easier because the members can now ask questions. So now, like when I give the floor to Honorable Lizazi, I'm not quite sure how to handle what Honorable Lizazi is going to do because, yeah, okay, but really, I think when I look at the detail of what the Prime Minister said, it could very well have been communicated through a ministerial statement by the Right Honorable Prime Minister, because now it makes it difficult for us to comprehend, for the members, when they have to explain to the people outside. I don't know also if there is a written copy, but maybe now, because this is the first time, I will exercise my flexibility and just listen to what Honorable Rizazi has to say. If he's asking a question, maybe Prime Minister would respond. But for the future, please, let's reserve the messages to only messages that just the message from the President. Okay? Honorable Rizazi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. You are doing so well. Thank you very much. It's just a suggestion that I wanted to put across to the Prime Minister with a good gesture, that is it going to be advisable to invite the mover into the committee, because we usually see when a matter is now done in Parliament, it's finished, and then you refer to the committee, the mover is going to sit there. So in this matter, are you going to invite the mover, or you leave her outside?
Who is the mover now?
Of the matter? Honorable Aitota.
Yeah.
Are you
Okay,
going
thank
to
you.
invite her or not?
Yes, thank you. Right on. Okay, there is Honorable Kumbwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wanted just to get clarity whether we could pose questions to the Prime Minister after the information. That is what I wanted, because I was also confused.
Yes. I think the Prime Minister said that he can receive answers, isn't it? Because of the nature of the issue.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, okay. Right Honorable Prime Minister, can we hear the question of Honorable Kumbwa?
Right Honorable Prime Minister, I listened carefully on the move that housing and sanitation as being a crisis, so to be declared as emergency. Correct. Now, I have a question which is related to certain areas in our countries. There are many areas in our countries. These people have got plots in town, and these places are flooding every year. These people have no help. Town council failed. Are they also classified under that category, Honorable Prime Minister? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Honorable members, I want us to know that the PM said that he would come with an update at a later time. I know that maybe we opened the Pandora's box. Now we have 2 more people. But please let's note that the Prime Minister said he will also come. But I will give now an opportunity to Honorable Thomas and then to Honorable Venani.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Right Prime Minister, good afternoon. I'm excited to hear the good news, but I'm a little bit worried, because when we are talking about housing, housing is go hand in hand with land. I think there are something like there was material on the land. Now, I don't know how are they going to be fixed together so that they can work together. If it's now after the material have been raised, or now, because there are no land is available currently to be given, whether it's in a local authority or in a rural development. How is that one accurate? Thank you.
For the opportunity to ask 1 or 2 questions to the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Munaina. Right Honorable Prime Minister, on the question of housing, we know you don't have money. The country does not have resources. Even if we declare housing a crisis in the absence of money, that backlog would not be addressed. But on the question of sanitation, others are saying there is a motion on the floor. In fact, there is an approved motion on sanitation that was investigated during the 7th Parliament that I moved. How much money, in terms of dollar, has this emergency plan allocated for sanitation? And which areas, in your view, would be targeted first, your first 3 priorities? Because if you are saying you are moving money from the emergency fund and you are bringing it to sanitation, we have been saying that. So I just really want to know, how do you want to do this emergency plan to make available toilets for our families? The party I lead has a policy of 1 family, 1 toilet. I'm sure you took it from there. But be that as it may, how are we going to cover it? And lastly, Right Honorable Prime Minister, as you are bringing a message from the heads of state, we also have a motion on this House that said, let's declare unemployment, in particular youth unemployment, as emergency. The AU report has flagged out Namibia's unemployment situation as a security risk situation. When is the government or cabinet, in your view, going to consider youth unemployment in particular a crisis, so that we start putting emergency measures so that we avert the security crisis being pinpointed in various international global reports? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The second part of my question was just now touched on by Honorable Venani, but I want to, I would then want to ask, perhaps also in line with that, whether the housing issue is not easily resolved through employment creation. If people have decent jobs, they would themselves be able to afford their own houses. Has that nexus been built in your policy approach or not? The second issue deals with the rural housing. Is that also something that in your policy approach you would consider as a crisis that requires to be addressed? Or is rural housing is not factored into your policy approach? And if it is, how do you deal with the question of the artificial economic barriers that our people face in rural areas when accessing capital or finance in commercial transactions, from any of the banks using their properties in rural areas? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Nashinge.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Good afternoon. Right Honorable Prime Minister, thank you for the update. It's a very serious commitment and undertaking. Hopefully, it is not just going to be another political rhetoric, but really delivering the commitment. My question really just on the issue of affordability and availability of land in places like Windhoek. Also on sanitation in Windhoek, where the ghettos have grown beyond comprehension. And those areas, Umboyalia to $1, $10, and many others, are not serviced, they are not linked to the sewage system and all that. And really, with the way things are right now, it's costly. What is the strategy there, or you are going to tell us later? I just really wanted to understand that. But also affordability. The government officials, workers, for example, the police officers who are earning a little, they can only manage if they are married, they are able to afford the property. And also those that are working for the private sector, earning a little, but really the reality is something else. What is the thinking in order to make sure that everyone really benefit, everyone really enjoy life like everyone else? Thank you.
Yes, Right Honorable Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Thank you for your constructive questions and input. Again, there is no divergence of views in respect of the seriousness of those matters, whether it be youth unemployment, whether it is the artificial barrier that my brother there is speaking about in terms of rural housing, whether it is those who are oftentimes flooded, their houses are flooded, etc., whether it is the cost associated with housing, land, and so forth. There is no disagreement on that. So too, Walizazi, there's no disagreement on that. What we are saying here, Honorable Speaker, as I was narrating the priorities of NDP 6, the last part of, that is now the 7th, it says land, housing, and sanitation. And the priorities, or rather the enablers, of which there are 7, number 5 is water. In other words, you cannot address sanitation without water. And you can equally not have a house where there is no water, for instance. You can't build it without the presence of water. So what I was saying then in here, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member, is to appraise you of what we have been doing and what we are busy doing. Now, it is clearly the concern of all of us that if we address it in the manner that you all have indicated, it is in the interest of both the youth, the elders, and so forth. But more specific then is my Mnaina has asked the specific amount. Many of those in the meeting, that is now the OMAS, the amount thus far indicated is 34 million. That's what they have indicated. And Minister of Finance is here. That was the amount, yes. So 34 million. Now, that 34 million, in respect of addressing the sanitation, might not be perhaps sufficient, but it is a start. And I should say, Honorable Speaker, as someone who has been in that ministry for the longest, we have a strategy as government, sanitation strategy, which is being updated from next year or from this year onward. The intention of that is no different from what my brother here is saying. It should be, because sanitation is dignity, it should be that every human being must have access to sanitation. Now, to actualize sanitation means job creation. And that would also then involve many young people from benefiting. In other words, they will benefit if they are afforded the opportunity to ensure that they construct, for example, all these sanitation facilities, be it at the schools, be it in the villages, etc. So the same goes for housing. Housing in terms of the actual amount will come, but there are various innovative technologies that we are looking at in terms of rolling out housing across the country. So that too has a potential of job creation, as Honorable Karonda has indicated. So once again, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, this was to appraise you. In the fullness of time, we will be able to inform the National Assembly as well as the entire country what it is that we are doing and we need to do. But suffice is to say, Her Excellency has taken specific interest in seeing agency in this space, both for housing and sanitation. And we have then been instructed to do exactly that, and I thought it would be helpful for context so that we know what is happening. And again, if there are additional ideas or suggestions that can be made in the process of implementation, let's talk to one another, because sanitation is dignity, sanitation is national interest. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Yeah, okay. Maybe we can get Honorable Kwambala and others. They can give ideas, even Honorable Lukato. Yeah, so yes, it is a labor-intensive is what we want to see happening in terms of rolling it out. If every Namibian in 121 constituencies can have access to sanitation, I think we would have done well in the interest of Namibians.
Yes, thank you. Any petitions? Reports of standing or select committees? Other reports and papers? Other reports and papers? Honorable Lukato?
Lots of questions.
No, it's other reports and papers first.
Oh, no, okay, still coming.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Notices of questions. Yeah, orally at the end. Yeah, now, Honorable Lukato, is your question written? I don't see you on the list. I think you didn't press anymore. Okay. You have a written question, notice of a question.
Okay. My relative sister, Honorable Speaker,
Yes.
members of Parliament, and leaders of various political parties. Good day, and thank you for the platform. Today, Tuesday, 9 June 26, I hereby give notice that on Thursday, 18 June 2026, I shall ask the Minister of Finance, my relative sister, Honorable Erica B. Shafuda, the following questions. Honorable Minister, it's been observed with growing concern that many Namibians continue to lose money through fraud, crime. Criminals are reported cyber crime. Then you can silence now. Criminals are reportedly giving unauthorized access to bank accounts and stealing funds from ordinary citizens who hold salary, saving and investment accounts with commercial banks such as FNB, Namibia, Standard Bank, Namibia, Nedbank, Namibia, Bank Windhoek, Nampost Saving Bank, and other financial institutions. In many cases, these scams are facilitated through mobile communication platforms and the SIM card-related fraud involving mobile network operations. Honorable Speaker, first question, how many cases of bank account fraud and financial scam have been officially reported in Namibia during the five years term? What is the total amount of the money that has been lost by Namibians through such scams? 3, of the reported cases, how many victims have successfully recovered so far? 4, has the Ministry of Finance, together with the Bank of Namibia, the Minister of Information and Communication Technology, Commission of Banks, MTC, Telecom Namibia, and other relevant, has already started there to manage. Number 5, if such consultation have been taken place, what specific measures have been agreed upon and implemented? Number 6, has the ministry considered introducing national deposit protection so far? Now, the second last, would the ministry consider requiring commercial banks to provide insurance coverage on fraud or protection guarantees for customers so that victims can prove fraud can be traced? The last one, Honorable Minister, what additional measure?
Honorable Member, time is up. Yes. Table the question. Yes. Honorable Fries.
Honorable Speaker.
Okay, Honorable Haikola. Okay. Yes, you may pose. Is that a question?
Yes.
Yes, please pose your question. So those who have oral questions, please put down and press again so that your name would appear at the bottom. Yes.
In August 2016, the Ministry of Health and Social Services wrote a letter to the Namibian University of Science and Technology, NUST, regarding the establishment of a 4-year human nutrition degree program to train nutritionists as part of the country's commitment to address the shortage of nutrition professionals and the persistent burden of malnutrition. Between 2022 and 2025, the program has produced a total of 86 nutrition graduates, and more are being trained. Unfortunately, it's very hard for a nutritionist to secure a job in Namibia, as there are almost no nutritionist positions in the government and food industry. This has led to most nutrition graduates being unemployed for more than 4 years. Namibia faces a depletion of nutrition human resources. Currently, the ministry has a small nutrition section, the Food and Nutrition Subdivision, which employs about 3 program officers serving the entire Namibian population of 3 million. This affects the government's effort to restrain the high prevalence of nutrition-related problems such as childhood stunting, which is 29.5%, wasting 6.7%, underweight 18.9%, reported in 2024, low exclusive breastfeeding rates 48%, high food prices, food insecurity 26%, as well as non-communicable dietary diseases such as obesity, diabetes, hypertension, stroke, cancer, and many more. So against this background, notice is hereby given that on June 11, 2026, I shall ask the Honorable Minister of Health, Honorable Dr. Luvindao, the following. 1, does the ministry intend to formally incorporate nutritionists into its staff establishment, and if so, when and where will they be deployed? Secondly, how many positions does the ministry plan to create? 3, in November 2025, the ministry advertised scholarships for dietetic studies abroad, a field closely related to nutrition, while locally trained nutritionists remain unemployed. What is the rationale behind this decision? The last question, most government-contracted hospital catering companies operate without nutrition professionals as part of their contractual staffing requirements, potentially compromising the nutritional care of patients. Now the question is, what specific regulatory action is the ministry taking to protect patients' care, especially for those requiring specialized diets for non-communicable diseases? I so submit.
Yes, please table the questions. Yes, you may table the questions. Yes. Honorable Eiko.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, 16 June 2026, I shall ask the Minister of Works and Transport, the famous Honorable Veiko Nekundi, on the rumble strips on the Western Bypass, a failure of engineering governance and accountability. The recent installation of rumble strips on the Western Bypass has raised serious concerns among road users, engineers, transport professionals, and citizens who expect public infrastructure decisions to be based on sound engineering principles, professional judgment, and evidence-based decision-making rather than political directives from the Cartoon Network.
Oh,
From information available
Honorable
to
Member,
public,
you don't have to do that. Because when you do that, the rules say...
It's jargon.
No, honorable members, it doesn't help you to speak in a chorus.
It's jargon.
That would not intimidate the presiding officer to succumb to that.
Jargon,
Can I just finish saying what I'm saying?
It's jargon.
No, honorable members, the rules are saying when we ask questions, we should just query what we want to query, and we should not make any kind of insinuations of the kind that we are making.
Sorry,
honorable
Speaker.
member.
Thank you, Speaker. I withdraw on a lighter note.
Yes, so please,
just
when
jargon.
that question is going to be put on the order paper, it will not contain any of such things, and you will not use any more of those type of terminology.
my Speaker.
As you are posting
It was
that
just
question.
meant to
Otherwise, I will
enhance.
ask you to reformulate the
It was meant to
question.
enhance, my leader.
No.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. From the information available to the public, this intervention appears to have been implemented following a directive from the Minister of Works and Transport. As a result of this directive, road users are now experiencing road accidents, increased travel times, traffic congestion, driver frustration, increased fuel consumption, increased vehicle operating cost, and reduced transport efficiency. If this is indeed the case, several fundamental questions arise. Is the Minister aware that the Western Bypass is a freeway designed and constructed as a high-capacity mobility corridor which is designed to allow for safe and efficient movement of traffic with minimal interruption and reduced conflict points? If so, what traffic engineering analysis was conducted to determine that rumble strips are required? Number two, why were pedestrian bridges not considered and implemented? The Roads Authority was established by law to manage Namibia's national road network through qualified engineers, planners, transport economists, and technical specialists. If ministers begin to prescribe engineering solutions, one must legitimately ask, why is it that the Roads Authority and their technical expertise, which is available, was not consulted? The third one and the final one, second last one, sorry, the Roads Authority has a responsibility to ensure that decisions are made or taken in accordance with the legislation, engineering principles, sound governance, and long-term interest of the nation. Did the Minister consult the board regarding the decision? Has the Minister consulted the CEO, who has the responsibility to protect the technical mandate of the Roads Authority? Until detailed scientific evidence is presented, can the Honourable Minister give the exact date and time as to when the rumble strips will be removed from the Western Bypass? I so submit.
You may table the question. Okay. Yes. Oh. No. Honorable Mbundu. Honorable Mbundu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 18th of June 2026, I shall ask the Minister of Works and Transport, Honorable Veiko Nekundi, the following. Honorable Minister, I wish to direct the following question to the Honorable Minister of Works and Transport concerning a recently launched computerized learner's license text method and the digital payment system at NATES centers nationwide. While the modernization of public service is welcomed development, concern has been raised regarding the readiness of all citizens to adapt to a full computerized system when Namibia's, particularly elderly persons, individuals with limited computer literacy, persons with a disability, and residents of remote areas may face challenge in accessing or navigating the new system. It is therefore important to ensure that the transition of digital services remains inclusive and does not disadvantage any segment of the population. I therefore ask the Honourable Minister the following. Number one, will NATES Centre provide training, orientation or session or on-site site assistance to first-time user of computerized learner's license text system? Two, have the ministry established any exemptions or accommodations or alternative arrangement for elderly persons with disability, and applicants from remote areas who may face difficulty using the new system? Question three, on what date does the ministry intend to make the computerizing system, a digital booking system, mandatory across the country? Four, will existing manual learner's license testing and booking system remain available during the transition period? And if so, how long? Finally, has the ministry considered allowing both the current system and the new computerized system to operate in a parallel for extended period, including up to 5 years, thereby giving applicant a freedom to choose the method most suitable for their circumstances. I so submit.
Please table the question. Yes, you can. Yes, no, the Honorable Minister may, so you are okay. Otherwise, you can ask for clarity. Yes, you can. No. No. Please, let's not waste time. We have a long list of members. Yes.
I believe the question is asked in good faith, that I must respond in a good context. I think that's the reason. So I just want to get clarification from you. When you refer to the disability, what do you refer to as a challenge, possibly, so that we prepare? Is it maybe blind or armed? I just want to appreciate what do you mean, so that we have an understanding what you mean.
Yes, Honorable Mutu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think the question was already put in. You can just read through the questions.
Honorable member, that was declining now to. Honorable members, can you stop interrupting? The rule says when the presiding officer rises, there will be silence in the House. Silence. Yes. So I just want to say to the honorable member that if the member asks a question and the member to whom the question is put says they have no clarity and they are seeking for clarity, and the member posing the question declines to provide the clarity, then it becomes difficult for the presiding officer to require that member to answer, especially if the honorable member was to try and put up a follow-up question to seek for clarity. I would say no, because we were also asked to clarify. So I just want to clarify that part. Honorable Mbinge Sheundo. It says when the presiding officer makes a ruling, it must be complied with. When you are asked to clarify a point,
you must rule according to the rules, yes, not from without.
Yeah, honorable member, can you please proceed? Yes.
I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 18th of June 2026, I shall ask the Minister in Presidency, Honorable Dr. Charles Mvita, the following. The State of the Region addresses were established to provide the Namibian people with a transparent account of progress made in advancing development and improving the quality of life in our regions. However, they have increasingly become platform for announcing ambitious projects without a corresponding mechanisms to measure delivery, evaluate impact, or hold implementing authorities accountable. Year after year, citizens hear promises of roads, schools, clinics, water infrastructure, and employment opportunities. Yet many communities continue to face the same development challenges. I therefore wish to ask the following questions. Does the Presidency maintain a formal monitoring and evaluation framework to assess the implementation of commitments announced during the State of Region address, and if not, why not? Given the frequent qualified audit opinions and financial management concerns raised by the Audit General in several regional councils, what measures has the Presidency taken to ensure that public funds allocated to announced projects are efficiently managed? Can the Honorable Minister clarify the respective role of regional governors and regional councils in reporting on projects announced during the State of Region addresses? How does the Presidency measure the socio-economic impact of projects announced in the State of the Region addresses, particularly regarding employment, water access, healthcare, and rural development? Can the Minister indicate what percentage of projects announced during the previous cycle of State of the Region addresses have reached full operational status and are currently delivering service to the public? I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, please table the questions. Honorable Member. Yes, Honorable Thomas.
Thank you, Women Caucus. Thank you very much. I already greet everybody. I give notice that on Tuesday, June 16, 2026, I shall ask the following question to the Honorable Dr. Steenkamp, Minister of Education, Innovation, Art, Sport, and Culture. The public ran out of patience that many children at Okamwandi Combined School, Handisby, have been without school admission since January for grade 7 to 9, since last year and this year. Since they apply for a school admission, they were just told there is no space. Parents make many efforts, write letters, even to the ministry itself, via the second, but they are told there is no space at all. Parents view this as a dangerous situation affect the school children. Therefore, I ask the following questions. Honorable Minister, are you aware of this big mistake? What could be the cause that prevent that there is no enough space at this particular school? Is the ministry aware that children remain home without school admission is against Article 20, sub-Article 3 of the Constitution, which says that the children shall not be allowed to leave school until they have completed their primary education? What is the position of the ministry to encourage that the particular children are admitted at school? Last, who shall be held accountable for that great negligence? I so submit.
Yes, the last one is Honorable Kumbwa. Now, under these questions, time is up for written questions.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Currently, in Mukwe constituency at Mahango Game Park, there is a renovation for the game park fence. I will recommend the government through the ministry to employ 40 local people to work on the project. And it's a project by the ministry. However, it is reported the following. These people who are working at the project are being transported by a trailer that is pulled by a Land Cruiser for 13 kilometers, 26 kilometers round trip on a sandy and dangerous dust road along the fence. They have been transported in this manner from January up to 3 June. When they ask why this kind of transporting, they are threatened either to leave the job or to adhere to the transportation on the trailer. Further, which means this is a violation of both the Traffic Transport Act and also Article 8 of the Namibian Constitution under Section 2B. Which says no person shall be subject to torture or to cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment or punishment. Furthermore, Honorable Speaker, These people are not, none of them is registered with Social Security, according to Act 34 of 1994, so that they cater for incidental matters. Now, this problem is inhuman, and I ask the minister whether she is aware of this problem and what amicable solution towards these people, towards their health, and how should it satisfy the government of the day that things are going well at that side. I so submit, Madam Speaker.
Yes, please table the questions. Yes, Honorable, I think the first one was Honorable Fries with questions, oral questions. Yes, I said that the time is up for the notice of questions. We have now spent more than 20 minutes. Huh? Huh?
The rules on the notice of questions doesn't get our questions.
No, it gives the power to the presiding officer to keep the questions.
Based on what?
Under Rule 8, and the presiding officer has announced the time limit. The presiding officer has announced the time limit for those items that are not kept in the rules.
Honorable Speaker, Rule 8 is quite clear. The Speaker needs to provide us with the reasons as to why you're keeping that.
No.
And they must be reasonable.
Yes. Honorable member. Honorable member, what you are doing now is you are just arguing with the presiding officer. No. I have provided already. We have been implementing it already for months. Yes. So, Honorable Fries, you have the floor.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
I have an urgent oral question to the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Inge Samwani.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, there is a member on the floor.
Yeah, proceed, Honorable Fries. The Honorable member is out of line.
Honorable Speaker,
Honorable Speaker, there is a point of order.
No, it's out of order. The member refuses to leave the floor. The rules are saying when the presiding officer asks a member to leave the floor, they must take their seat. It's your member. It's your member, Honorable Nashinge. It's your member. Now take a seat, Honorable member. Take your seat, Honorable. I will not, Honorable Ricardo, you have a duty under these rules to get your member to comply with the rules. No, he must sit down. He must sit down. I will not hear him for as long as he does not respect the authority of the chair. I will not hear him for as long as he does not respect the authority of the chair. Honorable Fries has the floor. He has the floor, Honorable Fries. Take your seat, Honorable member. Take your seat. You will not pose that question against the ruling of the presiding officer. You are out of order, Honorable member.
Honorable Speaker, my time is running.
Yes, your time is running. You have the floor, please proceed. Because you are giving them precedence. Just proceed, ask your question.
You must preside, not
Honorable Speaker.
You are the speaker.
Honorable member, just proceed, Honorable member. Honorable member, you are out of order. Now the Secretariat, please force the Honorable Klute to appear before the Privileges Committee for that conduct. Yes.
Speaker,
that's all he is taking.
He's the only one that is going to implement.
Secretariat, did you get that?
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable member, take your seat.
To be fair,
take your seat. Take your seat.
You will not appear anywhere.
Take your seat.
You cannot be biased as a speaker, Honorable Speaker.
For what?
That will never happen.
Take your seat, Honorable. Honorable Karangura, your member is on the floor. You are disturbing him.
No.
Yeah, your member is on the
Preside as a
floor.
presiding speaker.
No. You are out of order. Take your seat, Honorable member. Take your seat, Honorable member.
You are taking it too far, Honorable.
You are out of order. You are out of order.
If you are applying
not, the time is up. The The time is up for questions. The time is up. It is up. We are now on urgent oral questions. Time is up. Time is up. They will, it is up. Time is up. Time is up. It is up. It is up. Must apply all the rules. It is up. Yeah, Honorable Fries, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have an urgent oral question to the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Inge Zamwani, with regard to the goat trading business that has come to an abrupt standstill. Buyers and exporters of goats all over the country must draw blood of each goat that they bought and send the blood samples to Windhoek for the blood to be tested whether these animals are healthy before they could be exported. Now, I am told that the business has now come to a standstill for the last 4 weeks, and it will apparently cost another 4 weeks before the business can be restarted. Now, Honorable Minister, is it true that we don't have the medicines that the tests are being conducted with? And do we have enough personnel? What is the delay in testing the blood samples that are sent to the head office to be returned back to the buyers and the exporters? Because the moment that the animals cannot be exported, the prices drop to unprecedented levels now. At the moment, we are experiencing very low prices for the goats. So can the Honorable Minister please shed some light on this predicament? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Member, for the question. I am aware that there are some issues with regard to the Central Laboratory of DVS in Windhoek. I was not aware that the delays have created such a long waiting list for farmers. Allow me to come back after I have done some consultations with the relevant department and to come back to you with appropriate response. I think the nation deserves a full comprehensive report after I have done some investigation, which I'm not able to do now based on an oral urgent question. I so submit. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Yes, thank you. Honorable Venani. Yes.
I also pressed for an urgent oral question, and I was after Honorable Fries.
Yes, Honorable Member, Honorable Venani, I got to Honorable Venani's attention. Please.
All right, sir. Speaker, under the rules that is guiding urgent oral question, I'd like to pose a question to the Right Honorable Prime Minister. Right Honorable Prime Minister, the first question that I want to ask you is that, are you in charge of the administration of this country or not? If indeed you are in charge, that I believe you are supposed to be in charge constitutionally and otherwise, a former Deputy Minister of Finance, former past acting CEO of NAMCO, Maureen Hinder, has aired an opinion, an adverse opinion on the license, on the oil license of Victor. She is not someone without knowledge. She is someone who's directly coming from NAMCO, saying that our country's security, oil security, is under threat because NAMCO has been bypassed. I was waiting calmly, and this is why I'm asking this question, whether you are in charge. Because I was waiting for a prime minister, head of government business, coming to this house, indicted by a former CEO of NAMCOR, and you are not telling us anything about what is happening with the Vitol license in NAMCOR. Prime Minister, tell us, is it true what she's saying? Why is NAMCOR bypassed? We have built those oil storage facilities at exorbitant amounts. Money the money were increased. You were not here. We were fighting these people when the money were increased. Now the Prime Minister comes here, nice suited like Honorable Venami, Munaina, you are not telling us. If you are in charge, tell us what is happening.
Prime Minister.
Can I? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Munaina, for the question. And thank you also for the interest that you have expressed in the matter, a matter that is of national interest equally. Yes, I have seen the view of Comrade Maureen, and she also shared same with me. Am I in charge? Yes, I'm in charge. And does the ministry responsible has a minister in charge? Yes. Has a minister in charge? Where is he? He's around. So I think the honorable member, the matter under discussion is not one that is either you or me or you versus me or that side versus us. This is a matter that requires a national conversation. This is a matter that all of us must be able to address soberly. Now, you'd agree that we put Honorable Maureen, also she was acting there, so clearly she would know more about it. And I think you would also agree in respect of the normal corporate governance of that organization, there are certain things that already are taking place there. And Cabinet is also aware of the matter, and we have had a conversation on that same matter. Now, for me to answer beyond the details of your question, because your question is whether I'm in charge, yes. Whether the minister is in charge, yes. Now, whether I think today is today I put on the group, isn't it? On our group today, in respect of the measures that were approved by NACC, the National Competition Commission, of which Vitol is one. I think you saw me putting it there. So Honorable Mnaina, certainly from that position, let me say that today is Tuesday. I think if Honorable Member can put in writing beyond what you have said, and then I'll be able to give you a more conclusive. No. I mean, look. There is no discussion about the fact that fuel is a national security issue. There's no question about that. But let's not put emotions to it. No. Look. It is not about the manner in which we want to characterize it. You see, if our qualms is with Vitol, then that is a qualm with Vitol. But our qualm should be security of supply and the affordability to the Namibian consumers. I think that would be our qualm. Now, yeah, but as far as what the honorable colleague has said, we cannot dispute that she possesses some knowledge of NAMCO. But I would really say, if there are other issues beyond this, just put it in writing so that we can respond. But be that as it may, if I can conclude, Honorable Speaker, because there are so many conversations that we are having in respect of that subject matter, and I wouldn't want to go too much into it. But what I would say is we must do everything to ensure that Namibians are getting fuel that is affordable and that Namibians are secured in terms of that fuel supply, and that if there are issues that impede that process, let's converse. So, Honorable Speaker, there's a follow-up. Which one?
Honorable member?
Yeah, of course. Well, of course.
Honorable members, you cannot engage with the Prime Minister on the floor. Yeah, I wanted to say, okay, Honorable Prime Minister, if you are done, I wanted to say now that we only have 5 minutes to go with urgent oral questions, so we can spend that time and break after that. That is the first point that I wanted to make. The second one is to say the Prime Minister has advised Honorable Venani to put the question in writing. So I think that settles the matter. I cannot allow further follow-up questions because the PM has responded. Honorable Minister, Honorable Venani, please assist. It doesn't help me to give you the floor to ask a question when the PM said he would want to have the question in writing so that he can go and follow up and answer. Please, you are senior member, Honorable, assist me. Yeah, Honorable members, I now want to ask, I have about 7 people on the list. Are all the 7 members wanting to ask urgent oral questions, or are some wanting to raise other issues? Yeah, those who are not asking urgent oral questions, can you switch off, please, so that I'm able to see who to call upon next for an urgent oral question? So it means everybody wants urgent oral question. Okay, so Honorable Klute.
Speaker, I want to ask an urgent oral question to the Honorable Minister of Mirt. Hey. I'm speaking through the speaker, not through you.
You are not the speaker.
Honorable Speaker, can I be protected?
Would you like the protection of this
Yes,
chair?
please.
But you disrespect the chair in a gross manner.
Honorable Speaker, I apologize.
Okay. That takes a great person to do that. Apologies accepted.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask the Honorable Minister of Mirt, in relation to the xenophobic attacks in South Africa, where most countries are already flying out their citizens, and some countries have even buried some of their citizens, like in Mozambique. And there have been deadlines being given up until the 30th of June for people to leave South Africa. And when I read the newspapers, the only indication that I saw from the Ministry of International Relations was saying that our citizens in South Africa need to remain vigilant. Just wanted to find out from the ministry, do you have an evacuation plan in place, and is there a budget also in case before 30th of June, and when that comes, what will happen? Thank you.
Very good. Minister of Mirt.
Thank you very much, Honorable Klute, for your question and for your concern. to the Namibian citizens. When the unfortunate events happened in South Africa, I said when they happened, it doesn't mean that they've stopped happening. Don't give me an English lesson. I went to school. We did approach, no, I'm not emotional. I'm not. At my age, no. So I contacted our High Commissioner myself, as well as our Consul General in Cape Town. Because wherever we have Namibian nationals, they have organized themselves. They have associations, and they have leaders. And the assurance we got was that none of their lives are in danger. So we continue to monitor. None of them are affected. Should the situation escalate to the level where we need to do more than monitoring, we will do so. However, at the moment, everybody is safe. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Now, with that, we have now only 1 minute. That's not enough to ask a question and answer. Honorable Brinkman, is yours so short? Otherwise, we can post it very quickly. 1 minute.
We can make it short, Speaker.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Okay. This is in light of the recent hantavirus outbreak. Currently, we know the 7th, a cruise ship docked in Walfish Bay. Another one is due to come on the 14th from South Africa. And South Africa was the one that was a safe haven to the infected people concerning hantavirus. I just want to know, from reliable sources, we understood that no screening whatsoever took place at the port for when the people came in. So what is the preparedness? Really the measures that the ministry is taking, actual measures, not things that we are hearing we will do. Because we know that nothing took place. And a cruise ship is coming on the 14th from South Africa. We want to know, can the public be assured whether we are ready for this, whether screening will take place? Thank you so much.
Thank you. I give the minister 2 minutes, please, to respond.
Very brief. So we do have a surveillance team all across the country that is charged with these particular efforts. If it is indeed true that the necessary screening has not been taking place, we take that allegation very seriously, and we will definitely follow through, because as the honourable member has stated, this must be happening, and we have an entire directorate for that, which has been doing so, but we will definitely take it up should these allegations prove to be true. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we rise until 16 hours.
This is NBC1. It's ours.
Imagine living with the effects of a disease for the rest of your life. For some Namibians, that reality began with polio. Today, a simple vaccine can protect children from the same fate. The Ministry of Health and Social Services is thus continuing its polio vaccination campaign to reach more communities across the country. Join Tupapieni for an important discussion as children from
accountability in education and learner system. Afternoon class will open door for working adult, teachers, shop assistants, security guard, school dropout, and the parents who can study after work. It means a 16 years old school dropout or 40 years old doesn't be left out. More qualification means better job, better development, better education, and the higher income later will improve. It will make education work for those public schools to provide employment to the thousands unemployed teachers in this country, and it will create more space for more learners who fail to obtain admission every year in Namibia. I so move.
Yes, please table the motion, Honorable Member. Venani.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I hereby give notice that on the 16th of June, the year of the Lord 2026, I shall move a motion that this august House debates the long-standing boundary dispute between Namibia and South Africa in relation to the Orange River boundary. That the House further notes that uncertainty persists regarding whether the international boundary lies along the northern high water mark of the Orange River or along the middle of the river in accordance with Namibia Constitution position. Therefore, call on this House for government to clarify Namibia's official position on the boundary and report to Parliament on measures being taken to resolve the matter, and ultimately that this matter be referred to the relevant Parliamentary Standing Committee for International Relations, Defence and Security for further investigation and report back. Honorable Speaker, I pray for your indulgence to do the same on the day of the Lord, the 16th June, the year of the Lord 2026.
Motions. That's what we agreed to discuss at the committee rules. Let's go and discuss it there. Now there is a ruling. We can't argue every day, honorable members. Yeah, let's make a submission there and maybe amend the rules. Yeah. Yes. Yes, honorable members. Then maybe if we agree amongst ourselves, if we want to increase to more than one question and more than one motion, maybe we can cap it to a certain number. But you can't require the speaker to do something which is not correct. Yes, Honorable Cooper.
Honorable Speaker, I move without notice that leave of absence be granted to Honorable Justine Jonas for the period of 9th to the 11th of June 2026. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, please table the motion, Honorable Member.
Classified.
Yes, I have ruled and I have implored the chief whips to assist me because I can see that almost all the chief whips, most of them, not all, almost all of the chief whips actually approach this matter in that manner. And I have implored you to assist me to achieve the objective of the rule. But I'm not receiving support from the chief whips. Maybe we should discuss that issue also another day. Yeah. But I agree with the principle. Honorable Lucato.
Honorable Speaker, Members of Parliament, today, Tuesday, 9 June 2026, I hereby give note that on Tuesday, 16 June 2026, I shall move that this August House discuss and agrees to table the motion to establish the Commission of Inquiry to assess all unemployed Namibians with academic qualifications for employment in accordance with the Labour Employment Commission. I so move, Honourable Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Member, you may table the motion. Maybe we will understand when you motivate it. Yes, Honourable Echo.
Speaker, I hereby give notice that Honourable Bernardus Clinton Swarboy will be on leave of absence due to medical reasons for an extended period of time in accordance with the standing rules. I so submit.
Yes, okay, but leave be granted.
Yes,
yes, but at least I commend you because you explained why. You may table the motion. We wish him a speedy recovery. Yes, Honourable Hangula.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I hereby move, in terms of Rule 124H, read together with Rule 76(1)D and F of the Standing Rules, that Honourable Professor Dr. Job Ampanda be granted leave of absence from today, 9th of June 2026, until further notice. I so submit.
On what account, Honourable Hangula? Yes, okay. So now, no, Honourable, you can't. No, I'm not saying you should not table. I'm just saying really that approach of you pointing to the other person when your own conduct is not necessarily exemplary. If others are to point to you when I make a ruling, I don't know what becomes of this. Are you signing it, or why are you going back to the seat? No, I'm just saying it that I'm just saying you are out of order to point to Honourable Cooper when I ask you to explain on what account. So you have to provide information to on what account. Honourable Member. Yeah. What is in there? Secretary, can you read it? What is in there? If it's in there, why haven't you read it? So it is not in there. Honourable Member, you are defying the ruling of the presiding officer. Okay, take it, Secretary. Yeah, this is really just unfortunate. Yeah, not any ministerial statements? Yes, Minister of Education.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable members of this August House, I rise to provide an update to this August House regarding the implementation of the subsidized tertiary education funding STEF, the model, and the progress made in addressing concerns affecting our students. With respect to the delays in the disbursement of non-tuition allowances, I wish to put it to the August House that the STEF model represents a historic and far-reaching reform introduced under tight implementation timelines. I also wish to assure the honourable members that the challenges experienced by the students are recognized and are being actively addressed and continue to receive the urgent and full attention of the Ministry. While government have successfully ensured the subsidization of registration as well as tuition fees, the processing of the non-tuition payments only commenced in April this year, with the same time that the invoices were received from the higher education institutions. And as a response, mechanisms have since been strengthened to accelerate the verification as well as the payment processes, with the aim of finalizing the outstanding non-tuition allowances for qualifying continuing students by mid-July 2026. At the commencement of the academic year, government effected an advance payment of 156 million to institutions of higher learning as well as TVET centers. This intervention ensured that new students were able to register without upfront financial barriers, while also supporting institutional operational requirements during the initial phase of implementation. An additional amount of 122 million has then also been disbursed towards tuition and registration related costs, while a further 30 million has been paid in respect of non-tuition fee support, benefiting approximately 6,436 students. Furthermore, an amount of 3 million was settled in respect of outstanding obligations from the previous academic year. It's also important to emphasize that government continues to extend budgeted financial assistance to eligible Namibian students studying outside the country, including within the Southern African Development Community, SADC region, and at international institutions, in accordance, and I wish to underline, with the provisions and eligibility criteria of the STEF model. This includes supporting students pursuing studies in critical fields such as medicine, engineering, and other priority disciplines, provided that the institutions and these programs are indeed accredited and it has been verified. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the Ministry acknowledges the frustrations and the inconvenience experienced by our students and sincerely regrets any anxiety that have been caused. I wish to reassure this House and the student communities that the teams in the Department of Namibia Students Financial Assistance Fund, NSFA, are working tirelessly to expedite all outstanding payments. In order to address these challenges, extensive engagements have been held, first and foremost, with higher education institutions, as well as the TVET centers, including also student representative leadership structures, to ensure that no student is unfairly disadvantaged during this period. Institutions have been requested to allow students continued access to classes, examination, and the release of academic results while payment processes are being finalized. Furthermore, government has advanced an additional 247 million to NSFA to support the accelerated processing of student payments, with disbursements expected to commence this week. Esteemed Honourable Speaker, Honourable Members, with regard to human resource and institutional capacity constraints arising from the reintegration of NSFA into the Ministry, several interventions have been implemented to strengthen the operational efficiency as well as to ensure seamless fund processing. We are not operating a perfect system, but we have made arrangements for the redeployment of personnel within NSFA, the approval of an additional 25 staff members to support the operations, and the strengthening of internal verification and the payment teams, as well as enhanced coordination with the institutions and the stakeholders. Further administrative and technical support measures are also being considered to improve turnaround time and service delivery. The Ministry remains committed to building a responsive, efficient, and sustainable student funding administrative system that will truly meet the expectations of the Namibian people. Honourable Speaker, esteemed honourable members, in conclusion, I reaffirm government's unwavering commitment to the full realization of the noble intention of Her Excellency, the President's Directive on Subsidized Tertiary Education. Our collective focus remains on safeguarding the academic progress, the dignity, and the future of every Namibian student. I thank you.
Yes, thank you. I so submit. Okay, thank you. Any reports from the Committee of the Whole Assembly in consequential proceeding? Huh? Yeah, no, there was nothing registered on my terminal. Honorable Haikora now has the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for the update, and also for the ministry to acknowledge the students and the parents' situation, because they were quite upset, all of us. Honorable Minister, in your statement, I didn't hear anyway UNAM readiness students. In this UNAM readiness, the readiness program that started. So these students were promised that their fees would be catered for before they even enrolled, and we have raised it here last year towards even the end. I just want to understand, when I also, before I ask this question, I have met some of them 3 weeks ago, and many of them are still saying their fees are not being paid. I just want to ask, Honorable Minister, how is the ministry going to intervene with this subsidized education to help these students and the UNAM readiness program? Thank you so much.
Yes, Honorable Kandorodo.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for the statement. Mine is more on the mature age entry that are excluded from NASFAV benefits for the subsidies. All of them that have registered, that have applied and accepted through mature age, they have been excluded from the subsidy or from the free registration, free tuition, free everything, and also the exclusion of Belvedere University also from benefiting through this. Yes.
Yes, Honorable Lucato.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for the platform. I just want to pose a question to my relative sister, Honorable Minister. I am the advocate of free education for the past years. So I just want to find out from you that you say we need to come to the stationaries countrywide. Do you, according to implementation, are you going to implement that stationaries, you have a stationary here in Windhoek, where the capital city, you are going to have also stationaries in the regional structures, and are you going to also to have stationaries at the sectors and also to the schools? That is my question, Honorable Minister. I thank you.
Yes,
I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Nashinge.
Thank you very much. Mine is quick, Honorable Minister. You are saying institutions should allow students to write examination, yes, but the ministry is taking long to give them their subsidy. So how do we deal with that? Because they must also have their business running, pay their workers and so on. So how do we deal with the challenge that is facing them while we are also addressing? Because last year you made a commitment here that you are more than ready, and now here we are. The other one is that students, for example, at NAS, they are writing in those wedding white tents. What are the preparations for the next academic year? Or are we still going to have our children writing in white tents next year once more because of the pressure that this decision, this subsidized initiative has brought. And obviously, if the kids perform well next year, it is even going to be worse. Are we going to see children writing exams from home, from the libraries, hospitals, and the hotels around? Or what is the plan? Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Antenya.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you for the update, Honorable Minister. Really considering that we have really prioritized youth development and education. However, my question is, what are the long-term reforms that are being pursued to make sure that we modernize NASAF? For instance, having a digital system that links NASAF to training institutions so that we do not have such delays in the future in order for us really to restore confidence among students and parents. That is my question on modernizing NASAF, more especially digital systems, so that they are interlinked with the training institutions, so that the processing of these financials can take place timely. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Lutuhezi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, as we are aware, we are all waiting for this statement. Many students from disadvantaged families have already suffered enough stress and anxiety of being chased away from their rooms. This is the 6th month. Most have moved away from the places that they've been staying. Most of them have missed classes because they could not afford transport to go to schools. And most of them are going to fail. And I want you to assure the nation that that next year you'll be prepared enough that this shouldn't happen, because a lot of futures are going to be ruined. Those ones who are going to fail now, how are they going to come back? Because as we can see, it's not their fault. They couldn't get to classes enough because there was no transport. They did not have accommodation because of these delays. I so submit.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Minister.
Very much, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members. I truly value the inputs that have been provided. In terms of the UNAM readiness students, the program, in the beginning of the year, we shared eligibility criteria. So this is one issue that I will go back to, and equally the issue of mature age. Mature age has been discussed extensively, and the NSFAF teams were requested to go back and revisit some of the decisions that we made. I will come back to the House on the issue of UNAM readiness program, as well as the motivations for mature age, specifically in public institutions, should it be granted. The issue of Welwitschia being excluded, I think I wish to inform the honourable member that that is certainly not the case. In fact, we have evidence of the invoices that we have already paid Welwitschia for, that they have submitted to us. But please, on a one-on-one, I don't mind to take it up if there's other contrary evidence that can be provided to me. The Honourable Lukato, on the issues of stationaries, if I may please skip this one for next time, because I think this is more linked to basic education, and I can always come back with a stationary update. The processes that have been followed. Honourable members, it's important for us to realize we are working with thousands of students. There are two groups of students. The first group is they are continuing students. The second group are new students. For the first time in the history of NSFAF, we extended the registration period to make it more eligible for more than 6,000, for example, just one institution of students who did not register or apply to NSFAF. We said we open up the registration period so that everyone has a chance to still apply for non-tuition. We cannot shy away from the fact that verification of identity documents are crucial. We find a lot of mistakes that are being done. with identity documents being submitted, the registration documents. There's so many issues that must be verified. I can give you the absolute assurance that we are doing everything within our powers. The amounts that I've mentioned, the latest amount that we transferred, in addition to what we've already advanced, the 156 million that was advanced in the beginning of the year to all institutions. It was advanced without invoices. Then you have a 122 million based on some of the invoices submitted in April. We have 30 million that was also given and a 3 million for outstanding invoices. And we have just released 247 million. Honestly, I think we need to be realistic that yes, verification takes time. At the moment, and with the staff members and the structure that we have at NSFAF, we are in agreement that we have to work with the Office of the Prime Minister to expand, because clearly 13 chief administrative officers to work on awards, that is insufficient. 10 accountants are insufficient to deal with the magnitude of what we are now having, additional students that we are making provision for. So I'm really pleading for time and to allow us. On the last question, yes, we are looking at an integrated data system. We are working on that. It takes time. There's one major challenge. And that challenge is that the universities, the institutions, many of them have different systems. They have different systems that they are using. That was one of the main obstacles why we couldn't automate as a matter of urgency. Secondly, we are now working with Home Affairs, with the Ministry of Home Affairs, to see how we can link up with their system to help us with the verification of the identity documents. Because what delay us with a particular student is when a student gives a wrong ID or wrong information and you have to send back manually an email to say the information you submitted to us is not tallying with the records that we have or with the records of the university. So verification and validation are crucial. But I can assure you that we are working on a system long-term to reform and to ensure that we have an automated system that will work. But for now, we really thank everyone for ensuring, and we do not want any student to drop out, but everything has to be verified. And only in April did we receive the invoices from the institutions, because they were also busy with registrations until end of March. I so submit.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, it's now 4:45, and we have not touched the order of the day. Yeah, that is how concerning it is. It cannot possibly be right that we conduct the affairs of the House that way. Now, having said that, reports from the Committee of the Whole Assembly and consequential proceedings. Now the Secretary will read the orders of the day. The first order of the day.
Resumption of committee stage, mental health bill.
When the Assembly adjourned on Tuesday, the 2nd of June, the question before the Assembly was a motion by the Honourable Minister of Health that the bill be read a third time. Does the Honourable Minister move that the Assembly now goes into committee?
Honourable Speaker.
Any objections? Who seconds? Agreed to. I now call on the chairperson of the whole House Committee to take the chair.
Thank you.
When the whole House Committee was called to order, the committee has to consider the Mental Health Bill, which is Bill 8 of the year 2025. When progress was reported on Thursday, the 30th of April 2026, clauses 2 to 19 has been disposed of. Clauses 21 to 22, clauses 25 to 28, clauses 30 to 65, clauses 67 to 75, and clauses 78, 79, and 81, together with the schedule and the title, were put to and agreed to. However, clause 20, 23, 24, 29, 66, 76, 77, and 80 stood over for amendments by the Minister in response to proposals made by the honorable members of the House. Therefore, I put clause 20. I put clause 20, the amended clause, as done by the, certified by the Honorable Attorney General. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chair of the whole House Committee. In the bill, substitute clause number 20 with the following clause. Deputy Chairperson of the House Committee, may I clarify that I have to read the entire amendment?
No. Come again, Minister.
May I clarify that I have to read the entire...
No, you now we are dealing with amendments.
Yes.
Yes, amendments as certified by the Attorney General. I think the discussion has taken place. The members has agreed. It's just to see that that amendment, is it what is submitted as agreed by the previous committee of the whole House. Yeah.
Regarding clause number
Come again.
20.
Clause 1. Did I jump? Okay, let's do this. Let's do 20. Finish all of them until 80. Then we come to 1. No, it's the same thing because I read clause 20. Yeah. Okay. And even the records, the records says when you voted, the day you voted, isn't it? You vote whether to continue from clause 20 or to start from the very first beginning. Isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah. And then you voted for clause 20 to start there. So when you say clause 1, you are not in conformity with what you have done.
I'll come back.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll come back.
Thank you.
So regarding clause 20, determination of mental health status, subclause 1 was amended to the insertion of the phrase forensic mental health after the phrase mental health status. Subclause 2 was deleted because its content already captured in subclause 1. Subclause 3 was renumbered to subclause 2 and amended by the insertion of the phrase forensic mental health after the phrase mental health status of A and caters for the aspects which must be included in the report for the determination of the health status of forensic mental health patients. A new subclause 3 was inserted, cater for the determination of the health status of all other patients. The determination may be done by a medical practitioner, clinical psychologist, or a mental health practitioner. Subclause 4 caters for the aspects which must be included in the report for the determination of the health status of all other patients. In the same subclause, the alphabetical numbering was also corrected from the previous certified version.
So, are we in agreement? Okay. Yes? George Kambala, sorry, Honorable George Kambala.
I just need clarity because on clause 20, subclause 1, they said any determination concerning medical practitioners. It says there by psychiatrist. But I remember that we had made the provision that because of the rare skill that we have in psychiatrists in the country, we said let's rather do it with all medical practitioners.
Yes.
Yeah, just that clarity.
Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chairperson of the Whole House Committee. Thank you, Chairperson of the Whole House Committee. Honorable Member, that distinction was done that we agreed on to say for forensic patients, it still requires a psychiatrist because it is of legal nature. But the other amendments for other patients, non-forensic, was then kept to include medical practitioner and mental health practitioners, which can include nurses. So this is particularly with forensic patients, which we had agreed on because of the legal nature.
Okay. So agree to? Thank you. Agree to. I now put, please table the amendments. Okay. I now put, that's my paper. Clause 23. I now put clause 23, the amended section.
Regarding clause 23, assisted mental health care, that subclause 6 is amended by the substitution of the phrase two psychiatrists for the phrase a medical practitioner and mental health practitioner. Additionally, the phrase within 72 hours after receipt of the application after a medical practitioner and mental health practitioner was erroneously omitted from the previous certified version. This has now been added. Subclause 7 is amended by the substitution of the phrase psychiatrists for the phrase medical practitioner and mental health practitioner. Subclause 8 is amended by the substitution of the phrase psychiatrist for medical practitioner. Subclause 9 is amended by the substitution of the phrase two psychiatrists for the phrase a medical practitioner and mental health practitioner, and by the substitution of the phrase psychiatrist for the phrase a medical practitioner. Subclause 10 is amended by the substitution of the phrase psychiatrist for the phrase medical practitioner. Subclause 11 is amended by the substitution of the phrase two of the psychiatrist for the phrase medical practitioner or mental health practitioner. Subclause 12 is amended by the substitution of the phrase two psychiatrists for the phrase the medical practitioner and mental health practitioner. I so submit.
Thank you. Please table the amendment. I now put clause 24. Is it so agreed as amended? Thank you. Agreed to. I now put, this one was clause 23, sorry. We now go to clause 24. Yeah.
In clause 24, subclause 7 is amended by the substitution of the phrase two psychiatrists for the phrase a medical practitioner and mental health practitioner. Subclause 8 is amended by the substitution of the phrase psychiatrist for the phrase medical practitioner and mental health practitioner. Subclause 9 is amended by the substitution of the phrase psychiatrist for the phrase medical practitioner and mental health practitioner. Subclause 10 is amended by the substitution of the phrase psychiatrist for the phrase medical practitioner and mental health practitioner. Subclause 11 is amended by the substitution of the phrase two psychiatrists for the phrase medical practitioner and mental health practitioner, and by the substitution of the phrase psychiatrist for the phrase a medical practitioner. Subclause 12 is amended by the substitution of the phrase psychiatrist for the phrase medical practitioner. Subclause 13 is amended by the substitution of the phrase at least of the psychiatrist for the phrase either the medical practitioner or mental health practitioner, and the substitution of the phrase psychiatrist for the phrase medical practitioner. Subclause 14 is amended by the substitution of the phrase two psychiatrists for the phrase the medical practitioner and mental health practitioner, and the substitution of the phrase psychiatrist for the phrase medical practitioner. I so submit.
Please table the amendment. 24. Yeah, I now put clause 24. Is it agreed to? Okay, thank you. I now put clause 29.
Clause 29, establishment and constitution of review boards. Subclause 1 is amended by the substitution of the word must for the word may. The minister must is changed to the minister may. So subclause 4 is amended in paragraph A and B by the substitution of the phrase correctional services for the phrase safety and security. I so submit.
Okay, please table the amendment. I now put clause 29. Is it agreed to? Yes, thank you. I now put clause 66.
Clause 66, prohibition on providing or exposing pornographic material to patients. Subclause 1 is amended by the insertion of the phrase visitor or any other person at a health facility. I so submit.
Okay. Please table the amendment. I now put clause 66 as amended. Is it agreed to? Okay. I now put clause 76.
Clause 76 is amended by substitution of the heading visitation of patients for the heading official visits to patients at health facilities, the insertion of the phrase with or after the word made, and the insertion of the phrase to the head of the facility after the word notice. I so submit.
Please table the amendment. Say, Doctor. What the name is then?
76.
I now put 76 as amended. Agreed to. Thank you. I now put clause 77.
Clause 77, subclause 1 is amended by the deletion of the phrase establishment.
Yeah.
Establishment and. So subclause 1, I repeat, is amended by the deletion of the phrase establishment and.
Yeah. Please table the amendment. It's what you did. I now put clause 76 as amended. 77. Agreed to?
77.
Thank you. I now put clause 80.
Subclause 1 is amended in paragraph B by the deletion of the phrase in terms of this act. I so submit. I so submit.
Thank you. Please table the motion. Table the amendment. Things are okay. Honorable members, thank you for your cooperation. I shall report the bill with No, you see. Okay. Okay. Honorable Minister, clause 1.
Clause 1, insert the following definition. According to the World Health Organization, after the definition of Medicines and Related Substance Control Act, mental health means a state of mental well-being that enables a person to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn well, work well, and contribute to their community.
Thank you. Please table the amendment.
Do you understand, George? George? Should you translate it or should you?
Thank you. I now put clause 1 as amended. Agreed to? Okay. I shall therefore report the bill with amendments. Then,
Yeah.
Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the members, as chairperson of the Committee of the Whole House, the committee has gone through the Mental Health Bill, which is Bill 8 of the year 2025, and has agreed to it with amendments. I therefore seek permission to sit.
Yes, permission granted. Okay. Where is this? Okay, now, does the Honorable Minister of Health and Social Services move that the bill now be read a third time? Any objections? Who seconds? Agreed to. Any further discussions? Does the Honorable Minister of Health wish to reply? Just think. Thanks, the members. Yes.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity. I will not take too much time of the Honourable members. This bill that we have now finalised in the National Assembly is to repeal the Bill of 1973. Wow. Yes. And so the work and the word must be said that we appreciate, from the Ministry of Health and Social Services side, we appreciate the entire National Assembly for engaging in constructive debate and for providing insights on certain aspects that definitely need much more attention. And so this is a great achievement for the entire National Assembly. And so on behalf of the Ministry of Health and Social Services, we take note of the fact that a lot of work must be done when it comes to mental health. A lot of work must be done. We must build more facilities. We must make sure that we must ensure that mental health is managed at the primary health care level as well in order to avoid referrals and so much more. This bill now also permits the Minister of Health and Social Services to designate private facilities as mental health facilities. And so it allows for a lot of work to be done and to proceed, but it also tells us what we are working towards. So on behalf of the Ministry of Health and Social Services, thank you very much.
I now put the question that the bill be now read a third time. Any objections? Agreed to. The Secretary will now read the bill a third time.
Bill.
The Secretary will read the second order of the day.
Resumption of debate on second reading Petroleum Exploration and Production Amendment Bill.
When this Assembly adjourned on Tuesday, the 24th March, the question before the Assembly was a motion by the Honourable Minister of Industries, Mines and Energy that the bill be read a second time. Honourable Ampanda adjourned the debate, and he has the floor now. He's not here.
Honorable Speaker, I was assigned by the Honorable Ampanda to postpone the debate to Wednesday, the 17th of June, for his contribution. I so submit.
Yes, I first have to establish whether there are other members that may wish to contribute to the bill today. Any further discussions? I see Honorable Ricardo Roderick. You have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise at the shadow of Minister of Environment, Forest and Tourism to also bring my contribution to the Petroleum Exploration and Production Amendment Bill of 2025, which presents a fundamental shift in Namibia's approach to petroleum governance. Yeah. Yes?
I'm advised by the Secretariat that you did make your contribution to this bill.
No, I did not.
Is that correct?
There's two Ricardos here. This is Ricardo Rodrigue for IPC and Ricardo. I did not contribute.
So I will take you for your word.
Yeah, it was.
You can continue.
Yeah.
No, I will take him for his word.
Yeah, I did not contribute.
Okay, proceed.
You can confirm.
Okay, Honorable Rodrigue.
Now, can you allocate time for me? Time.
Okay. Yes.
Time.
You may proceed, Honorable Member. What happened to the time? No, now I have no way of confirming that because I can only be assisted by the Secretariat in the Hansard, but he has given his word that he has not spoken. I take it all of us are people of honor, and I'm not expecting anyone to say anything that is not true. So, Honorable Member, proceed. Please, can you...
All right.
Yeah.
15 minutes. Okay, I will just continue. At the heart of this bill is the expansion of upstream petroleum activities. My time.
Time.
Yeah, let me wait for my time.
Reading all bills except first reading.
Okay.
15 minutes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. At the heart of this bill is the expansion of upstream petroleum activities with increased authority granted to the President and the newly established Upstream Petroleum Unit. However, this expansion is not matched by equally robust environmental safeguards, a gap that raises serious concerns for the future of Namibia's natural capital. Increased petroleum exploration, especially offshore, inherently possesses significant risks to the environment. Namibia's marine ecosystems are some of the richest in the world, supporting diverse fisheries, unique coral habitats, and a growing tourism sector that relies on coastal environment. Yet this bill does not establish independent environmental oversight to monitor and enforce compliance. Without a strengthened regulatory framework, any lapse in safety measures such as an oil spill could devastate fisheries, destroy biodiversity, and tarnish Namibia's reputation as a global conservation leader. Namibia already has a comprehensive legal framework for environmental protection under the Environmental Management Act 7 of 2007, which established the principle of sustainable development and mandates environmental impact assessment for activities that may have significant effects on the environment. The Act requires that any project, particularly high-risk sectors, such as oil and gas exploration, must obtain an environmental clearance certificate before commencement. It further provides for public consultation, mitigation measures, and monitoring obligations. However, the amendment bill does not explicitly reinforce compliance with these provisions within its new governance structure. Instead, it broadly assigns responsibility for ensuring environmental standards to the newly created unit, without embedding clear procedural safeguards or strengthening enforcement mechanisms. This is a critical omission. The Environmental Management Act is built on key principles such as the precautionary principle, the pollute pays principle, and the duty of care to prevent environmental damage. These principles require that environmental risks be anticipated, avoided, and mitigated at all stages of development. Yet, the amendment bill does not operationalize these principles in the context of petroleum activities. There is no explicit requirement for independent environmental audits, no enhanced liability regime for oil spills, and no clear integration of environmental decision-making into the licensing process controlled by the Director General, As a result, the bill risks reducing environmental compliance to a procedural formality rather than a substantive safeguard. Furthermore, the centralization of authority within the presidency introduces an institutional risk that environmental considerations may be subordinated to economic or political priorities. Under the Environmental Management Act, the minister responsible for environment and the Environmental Commissioner play a critical role in reviewing EIAs and issuing clearance certificates. However, the new petroleum governance structure risks marginalizing these actors by placing strategic decision-making at the licensing authority within a politically centralized unit. This creates potential for conflict of interest, where the same authority driving petroleum development is also indirectly responsible for ensuring environmental compliance. Comparative experience underscores the importance of institutional design. In Norway, environmental protection is embedded through strong independent regulatory bodies and strict enforcement of environmental laws alongside petroleum development. This separation ensures that environmental oversight remains credible and effective. In contrast, Angola has at various points struggled with the consequences of centralized control and weaker environmental enforcement, resulting in governance challenges and environmental vulnerabilities. Namibia's current trajectory, as reflected in this bill, raises concerns that it may be moving away from a balanced model towards one where environmental oversight is less institutionally secure. In practical terms, the fundamental environmental impact of this bill is that it increases Namibia's exposure to petroleum-related risks without proportionally strengthening the legal institutional mechanisms needed to manage those risks. It shifts the governance framework towards centralized control while leaving the environmental protection framework largely unchanged and in some respects institutionally weakened. This creates a structural imbalance that could have long-term consequences for Namibia's ecosystem, economy, and international reputation. Without deliberate alignment between petroleum governance and environmental law, Namibia risks entering an era of resource development where environmental protection is reactive rather than preventative, and where cost of the environmental damage may far outweigh the benefits of petroleum extraction. Under the current 1991 Act, the Minister of Mines and Energy cannot waive royalties without concurrence from the Minister of Finance. Two keys are required. This is the basic check and balance. This bill changes that word from concurrence to consultation. Honorable Speaker, in the law and in practice, these words are not the same. Concurrence means agreement or a veto. Consultation means I listen to you, but I do not have to follow your advice. The government says, do not worry, we will report royalty waivers to Parliament every year. The bill promises that Parliament will receive annual reports on royalty waivers by June 30 each year. Let us be honest with ourselves. By June 30, the waivers have already been granted. The contracts have already been signed. The revenue has already been lost or redirected. Parliament must have the power to approve or reject royalty waivers before they are granted, not merely read about them afterwards. But a report after the money is gone is not oversight. We need a two-key system that stops a bad deal before it happens, not a report later. The bill requires the Director General and Deputy Director General of the new upstream petroleum unit to declare their assets. On paper, this looks like an anti-corruption. But, Honorable Speaker, those declarations go only to the President and not to Parliament, not to Anti-Corruption Commission, and not to the public. Who verifies them? Who audits them? Who investigates if something is wrong? Disclosure without independence is not accountability. It is just like a letter to one person. If the president herself has an interest in a matter, an internal declaration offers zero protection. Transparency that stays inside the presidency is not transparency at all. Honorable Speaker, I therefore reject this bill in its entirety. I thank you.
Yes, Honorable Ipumbu, but I see Honorable Ipumbu is not here. I don't know who. It's a oh, okay, Honorable Ipumbu. Okay, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Venani, please leave me alone. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member, allow me to stand and have this opportunity to add my voice to the Petroleum Amendment Bill. Namibia stands at a consequential moment, and the emergence of oil and gas and its prospects is not merely a technical development in the energy sector, but it's rather a national governance test. If petroleum becomes a blessing to our people, it will be because Parliament insisted early on a strong supervision, clear lines of authority, credible oversight, and transparent reporting. That is the spirit in which I rise to support this bill. At the center of this bill is a simple proposition. The upstream petroleum space is too strategic, too capital intensive, and too exposed to risk, economic environment, reputational, and governance to be left fragmented in terms of its decision making. And therefore, the bill strengthens the command and control architecture of the upstream sector by placing it where national coordination is most effective, while still preserving law, administration, professional execution, and checks and balances. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I have listened carefully to the reservation raised, particularly the concern that shifting certain authority may dilute accountability or politicize administration. With respect, I tend to differ with such arguments. This bill adds layers of accountability rather than removing them. It does not create a vacuum. It creates a clear hierarchy with defined responsibility and supervision. It moves from a single point of authority model to a structured oversight model. And let us address the practical point. The presidency is not an institution that operates outside accountability. The presidency's budget comes to this august House. The presidency answers to this House through established constitutional and parliamentary mechanisms. So when we strengthen coordination at the center, we are not weakening democratic accountability. We are anchoring it at the level where the nation can demand answers with the full weight of state responsibility. Honorable Speaker, honorable member, this bill establishes the upstream petroleum unit in the office of the president and sets out its plan and terms, what that unit must do, how it can be regulated, how it could be managed, and coordinate petroleum affairs. And it will also advise on national petroleum activities, promote planned, sustainable, and cost-efficient petroleum operations, and it protects local content and participation in the line with national laws. It also monitors compliance with laws, agreements, and standards, including health, safety, and environmental standards. It will also conduct inspections and audits, preserve and manage upstream petroleum data through a national repository. It will also analyze and forecast the petroleum economic data and produce an annual public report on upstream petroleum activities. Those are not cosmetic functions. They are the core building blocks of a modern petroleum governance regime. They are precisely what reduces the risk of capture, weak enforcement, rent-seeking behavior, and the kind of institutional drift that turns national resources into private pursuits. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the bill also clarifies powers and delegation. The President is empowered to provide policy direction and to appoint the senior leadership of the unit. Delegation is provided for, but it is not a free-for-all. It is structured, and certain powers are expressly protected from casual delegation. This is critical. It preserves decisional integrity at the top, while enabling administrative efficiency through properly authorized delegation. Importantly, the bill does not ignore integrity risks. It strengthens controls around conflicts of interest for officials involved in petroleum administration. It also deals with liability in a manner that protects the state and its officials acting in good faith, which is standard in complex regulatory environments where decisions may be contested but must still be taken firmly and lawfully. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, some have argued that the bill disempowers other role players. I submit that this framing is unhelpful. Namibia already has examples where strategic coordination sits at the center without eroding the lawful mandates of other institutions. We have central planning structures that support national coordination without divesting Treasury of its financial mandate. In the same way, the creation of a petroleum coordination unit at the center is about alignment and disciplined execution, not about collapsing all functions into one office. What we should be asking is not who gains power, but do the Namibian people gain protection? Do they gain transparency? Do they gain a system that can credibly manage licenses, enforce standards, preserve national data, build local participation, and report publicly on progress and performance? This bill answers those questions in affirmative. Honorable members, especially the younger generation, this is the black gold. This is our moment that our country either get right at the beginning or regret for generations if we do not take the right decisions. We must not gamble with this sector by leaving it to weak coordination or unclear accountability. The petroleum sector can uplift the nation, but only if the governance comes first. Oversight before expansion, institutions before windfalls, and transparency before profits. In closing, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I support this bill because it is a governance bill as much as it's a petroleum bill. It is about protecting the public interest at the earliest stage, strengthening the architecture of accountability, and ensuring that the upstream petroleum development proceeds in a disciplined, lawful, transparent, and nationally coordinated manner. I accordingly urge this August House to support the bill, and I thank you.
Yes, Honorable Hishona.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Good evening. Good evening, honorable members. Good to see you. This one is coming from the Shadow Ministry of Education. We cannot talk about this wonderful industry without hearing from the Ministers of Education, from the IPC, not from the government. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, fellow Namibians, the petroleum bill was passed in this house in 1990. If I'm correct, it's 35 years down the memory lane. What have we been doing in preparation for this oil industry? The discovery of a possible oil deposit has echoed at political rallies and the gatherings, yet there has never been a serious and meaningful alignment of the industry and the national curriculum. No alignment whatsoever. No deliberate national strategy to prepare engineers, safety experts, environmental specialists for this sector. Yet, these are not part of the amendments that the minister is asking for. Where is the curriculum now? Where are the training institutions equipped to produce qualified Namibians to lead in this industry? Honorable Speaker, these are the amendments one would expect in this House. Now, we are here 35 years later. Instead of strengthening the Parliament oversight, the Honorable Minister is here seeking for our support to relinquish his legislative authority to the executive under no constitutional obligations. Why is the minister asking us to dishonor the constitution of this republic, to dishonor it? Getting back to the education, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the oil industry does not and will not operate in isolation. It brings adjacent sectors. For example, offshore safety and diving schools, firefighting and hazardous response trainings, environmental protection and oil spill response, marine engineering and the logistics. Where's the lie detector then? Thank you. Industrial maintenance and the fabrication, just to mention a few. I know some members are not aware that this industry will come up with all this. These ones will pop up since when the industry opens. Are we ready? Are we training these people? Which Namibian institution currently offers these specialized programs, if any? Who has access to them? My phone is not near me. I do not have any device with me. Could it be my laptop? It's a laptop. Yeah. As I continue, who has access to these institutions? This would be the amendments. If we are really serious of doing business unusual, we are preaching of free education, okay? Free education towards what end? Education must translate into skills, productivity, national ownership, opportunity. That should be your amendments, Honorable Minister. We must also confront the issue of governance. We have witnessed what happens when excessive powers are concentrated in the hands of few. You are following, I know. This nation is painfully going through the lessons of Fishrod. Yet, we have not embedded ethics as foundational subject in our mainstream education system to cultivate principled future leaders. We are cultivating leaders to keep power, not principled. And so to be able to steal. Okay, thank you. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, handing legislative powers to the executive is not a minor procedural matter. I am cautioning this House. It will raise serious constitutional concerns. Serious concerns. The Constitution is not just a piece of paper as it was once referred to by some, but it is the supreme law of the Republic of Namibia. And we all took an oath to honor and protect it. And to be truthful, thank you. The President, having taken an oath to uphold and and protect the Constitution should stand firm in its defense. Safeguarding constitutional governance is not optional. It is a duty. This is not about politics. It's about national sovereignty, accountability, and intergenerational justice. As I conclude, honorable members, honorable Speaker, because I see the time people want to go home, honorable Chair, please, it's still my floor. Let us educate the nation about what is at stake, please. Let us be vigilant about potential geopolitical pressure. We know who's pressing you, whether from the west or from the east. Do not make us do things because you are under pressure by someone geopolitically. Let us ensure that Namibia resources benefit the Namibian first. Every patriotic Namibian must reject these amendments in totality. As I sit down, thank you.
Okay, any further discussions? Okay, if no further discussion, the honorable member can now adjourn. The one Honorable Hangula was suggesting to adjourn. I see there is no one has enlisted. Oh? Yes, Honorable Susiku. Yes, honorable members, I just look at the screen. If there is no name there, I would round up.
I would like to adjourn until next week, Tuesday.
Until next week, Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay. To what day did the Honorable Hangura?
Postpone. I had adjourned to the 17th, Honorable Speaker.
Which is next week.
Yes.
Next week, Wednesday.
Yes.
So, any objection to next week, Tuesday? Honorable, right, Honorable?
You can hear me? Huh? Okay. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I postpone to tomorrow.
Okay. Any objections? So adjourned until tomorrow. Yeah, adjourned until tomorrow. Then the secretary will read the third order of the day.
Resumption of debate on second reading, Regional Council's Amendment Bill.
When the Assembly adjourned on Tuesday, the 4th of November, the question before the Assembly was a motion by Honorable Minister of Urban and Rural Development that the bill be read a second time. Honorable Hengari adjourned the debate and she now has the floor. She's not here. Any further discussions? No further discussions? Yes, Honorable Fries.
Of any contribution, I would ask for your indulgence to postpone to next week, Wednesday, please. Thank you.
Any objections? I second. Okay, no objection. Adjourn until next week, Thursday, Wednesday.
The 17th. The 17th.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay. The secretary will read the fourth order of the day.
Resumption of debate on second reading, Public Enterprises Governance Amendment Bill.
When the Assembly adjourned on Tuesday, the 2nd of June, the question before the Assembly was a motion by the Right Honorable Prime Minister that the bill be read a second time. The Minister of Works and Transport adjourned the debate, and he now has the floor.
Honorable Speaker, in view of the time, I postpone the debate to tomorrow.
Yes, okay.
And 15 minutes.
Honorable,
I need 15
Honorable,
minutes.
there is 10 minutes. You can start. Otherwise, we are proceeding to the next item. Because 10 minutes.
Yeah, to tomorrow.
Okay. Any objection? Okay, agree to. The secretary will read the fifth order of the day. Oh, so okay, honorable members, next time, if you see that I didn't see you, just draw my attention so that I don't have to rule and come back. So now you have the floor, honorable member.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, I rise to contribute to the debate on the Public Enterprises Governance Amendment Bill of 2025. This bill aims to improve the performance and governance of public enterprises, and we all support that goal. However, Honorable Speaker, we must make sure that while improving efficiency, we do not weaken accountability. Good governance is not only about giving power, it is about making sure someone takes responsibility when things go wrong. Honorable Speaker, the bill proposes that the Prime Minister oversees public enterprises, line ministers manage operations, and the Minister of Finance handles the state's financial interests. This may look good on paper, but it could create confusion about who's responsible. We have seen this before. It has happened. For example, with social grants, one ministry handles administration. But when problems arise, each side blames the other. One says we release the money, the other says we handle registration. In the end, no one takes full responsibility. Honorable Speaker, if a public enterprise fails, who will Parliament hold accountable? Is it the Prime Minister? Is it the line minister? Or the Minister of Finance? If responsibilities are not clearly defined, accountability becomes weak. That is why I propose the following. First, line ministers must remain accountable to Parliament for enterprises under their ministries. Second, there should be joint reporting to Parliament by all ministers involved. Third, appointments and performance reports should be made public to improve transparency and trust. Honorable Speaker, public enterprises belong to the people. The people must know who is responsible when services fail or public funds are misused. Every power given by this bill must come with clear responsibility, because without accountability, good governance cannot succeed. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I therefore urge this House to carefully consider these concerns and amendments. I so submit.
Yes, thank you. And then we go back. I see there is no other request for contribution. We go back to the proposal of Honorable Nekundi to adjourn the discussion on that bill until tomorrow. I think he said tomorrow. So now the Secretary would read the fifth order of the day. Is it the sixth order? No, the fifth order by the Minister of Agriculture. No, it's not yet here. The fifth order was by the Minister of Agriculture.
Resumption of debate on second reading Land Bill.
When this Assembly adjourned on Tuesday, the 2nd of June, the question before the Assembly was a motion by Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Land Reform that the bill be read a second time. Any discussions? None. If no discussion, does the Honorable Minister... Yes. Yes, Honorable Karonda.
I seek your indulgence, Honorable Speaker. If we could postpone the debate on this to Tuesday next week.
Yes, any objection? Okay, third to Tuesday next week. The Secretary will read the sixth order of the day.
Consideration of the annual report of the Electoral Commission of Namibia for the year 2024-2025 in the performance assessment and post-election report for the Grootfontein, Cape South, Kamanyap, Ochivarango, and Sesfoden constituency by-elections held on 17 June 2025.
Does the Honorable Deputy Speaker move that the reports be considered?
I don't know, Speaker, I seek your indulgence. I think I need more than 10 minutes for the deliberation on this. So in terms of time, I will not be able to make it. I seek deferment to tomorrow.
Yes, okay, I agree to. Honorable members, I just want to say in terms of the rules, when, okay, that is agreed to, I just want to make a general ruling. In terms of the rules, when an item is next, until its knock-off time, the member must commence with the business that is on the order. And in terms of the rule, if the member is not done dealing with the matter, then we rise on automatic adjournment and we will continue. That person will be the first one. That item would be the first one the next day. Otherwise, if each one of us would say the time is not enough, then we are infringing on that rule. But I think because maybe there was not clear understanding, can the Prime Minister move that the House adjourns until tomorrow at 14 hours?
Thank you very much, Honorable.
The person is already standing.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, I move that the House stands adjourned to tomorrow, 14:30.
Okay, so the House stands adjourned until tomorrow. Honorable, thank you.
This is NBC1. It's ours.